What's happening, everyone? JayShockblast here, and check it out. I just got done finishing watching Ironheart, all 6 episodes on Disney Plus. And you know, this is not a series that I really cared about. I don't usually skip the Marvel stuff, but I wasn't in a rush to go watch it. And then I started seeing some slightly positive reviews pop up. My buddy Sadat the Gamer said it was pretty decent, and he's a hard man to please. So I said, you know what? I'm going to suck it up. I'm going to binge it. We're going to watch it. We're going to do the thing. And I have to say that Ironheart might be one of the best shows that Disney Plus has put out. It had no business being as good as it is, and I'm shocked at how much I enjoyed it. Dominique Thorne is fantastic as Riri Williams, and I feel like this show, more than any other piece of media, made me actually care for Riri Williams as a character. It had so much heart and it had so much soul, and you could really feel what everything meant to her, and you can just tell that like a lot of authenticity went into this. I don't love the story in general, in just the sense that it does not really match up with who Ironheart is and how she came to be and how her character is, but this is the 616, so you have to understand that they are going to change things around a little bit, and this is one of those rare occurrences where changing things around a little bit actually worked out in their favor. You know, you think of Ironheart and you think of her breaking into Stark Industries to make her own robot, you know, her, you know, being an MIT, being a young genius, and all of those things are still there. But then she goes back to Chicago, which is where the show basically takes place. And the bigger issue there is, I think, Parker Robbins, who is the Hood, played by Anthony Ramos. I think the bigger issue is he's more of a New York guy, okay? So bringing him to Chicago, having that be his origin story, it is what it is, okay? Like it's whatever. And Anthony Ramos, fantastic as the Hood. I'm not like super familiar with the Hood's entire backstory. I know he does not get the Hood and his powers the way that it is in this show, but I really love the way that it did go down, because I don't want to do too many spoilers, but it's really hard to talk about how the Hood gets his powers without acknowledging, you know, who gave it to him. Obviously, we're dealing with magic here, and Sacha Baron Cohen plays a character that we have been craving and wanting and yearning for in the MCU and speculating about for a very long time, and I hope this is not the last we see of him. I'm going to leave it at that and let you use your imagination, but we finally got him, and oh boy, was Sacha Baron Cohen the right person to play that role. And like I said, I hope we open up the magical side of the MCU, because, you know, we've seen Scarlet Witch and we've seen Doctor Strange and we've seen Agatha all along, and those shows, those series, the stuff that was happening there was some of the better stuff that the MCU has done. And I just feel like this is it's weird that Ironheart is bringing us there. So I will say, just honestly, a lot of people are going to write this off. A lot of people write Riri Williams off as a character. It's not 100% authentic to the comics, obviously. And they didn't really call in anybody extra. They managed to do these 6 episodes with a very small core of people. And that includes, you know, the family and friends around Riri that help her through her, you know, struggles, because that's one of the essential themes of all of this. It is like the struggles of loss, you know what I mean? And she goes through some loss, and it partially defines her. and it's easy to be sympathetic to that and honestly feel the pain she's going through, because we've all had loss before, you know what I mean? And I loved that part of the story for her. It's less. They do a good job of making Ironheart not just be a Tony Stark Iron Man ripoff, okay? And I do feel like the comics, in its own way, sometimes made it that way because that's where her start was. But in this version of the Marvel Universe, Tony Stark is dead, you know? We do also see Alden Ehrenreich, who I last saw as Han Solo. And I'll be honest with you, I saw him and I thought it was him immediately. I didn't know he was in the show, and I like immediately looked him up. They do some things with him, and it's very interesting. Again, I'm trying to avoid pure spoilers, but he's also a sympathetic character that I can see going down the path that he's supposed to based on his character from the comics. And it's going to be very interesting to see where things go. The Hood rounds up a crew. They are very interesting. They're doing their thing to try to infiltrate and make that money and be all that, you know, crime type of stuff that you expect from the Hood. And that really worked out very well. But, you know, honestly, this show is just, it's very competent. It's very well made. And, you know, Ryan Coogler, obviously, I believe was an executive producer on the series. I would trust anything that has Ryan Coogler's name on it. You know, Sadat's been trying to convince me to watch Sinners, and I'm gonna do it soon. I'm probably gonna make my wife watch it with me. That way, when I get like scared, I can hold her like a teddy bear. But I don't know. There's something. I'm not a big horror movie guy, and it gave me those vibes. But like honestly, this is really good. It's really good for the character, and I actually think if you just sit back, accept it for what it is, it's actually going to be worth watching. It's a really solid 7.5 out of me. And again, I don't want to get into too many spoilers. My bigger issue is the way that the 6th episode ends. I don't like. It leaves it open for interpretation. It leaves it open as if there's going to be a season 2. And if there is a season 2, I'm actually fine with that. And I never thought I would say that. But I don't like it. I just don't like it. And if they find a way to shake this story out involving more magical characters like Doctor Strange, if there's some MCU movie they're working on where they have to work through some of this magical stuff, I'll accept it. I hope they don't leave it there. That's all I'm gonna say, because it's a weird ending, because it doesn't really strike me as what Ironheart's all about, but I do understand why they did it. Okay, so please be respectful in the comments. Try not to like just mark spoiler before you write anything, so if somebody can see it, they can skip past it. I try my best not to spoil the things. Shockingly good. Okay, I really actually liked it a lot, and I did not think I would get into that. Riri's never been a character I cared that much about. She seemed generic, you know, like it's tough to like be the third or fourth wheel after Iron Man, you know, like how many guys in suits do we have, you know, or people in suits? So, but you know, I actually, this honestly should really help Riri Williams as a character kind of break out on her own, be her own thing. Very little Stark involved in this, and I think that's actually a good thing. Not the best introduction in Black Panther, but I think they really found their stride here, and I would actually love a season 2. Mark me down for a season 2. The show is very grounded until it wasn't, but like it's a very, very solid story and show, and the acting was good. The characters were really cool. I think great things for Ironheart and the Hood in the future, and I hope so much that we get to see more of Sacha Baron Cohen's character. Okay, there's a segment where Riri calls him by the name of another magical character that we've seen in another movie that we may have come to bargain with, and the way he just laughs is amazing. And I honestly really and truly believe that if you watch these 6 episodes, you're gonna actually not hate it. Maybe I'm just a sucker and I enjoyed it too much, but I think it's really solid, especially compared to a lot of the MCU stuff they've done on Disney Plus. It might be one of the better shows they've done, and I absolutely, if you were gonna skip it, don't. I think you're gonna like it. So anyway, that's what I have to say about Ironheart. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'd love to know what you guys think about it, and we'll see ya.